Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host, Justin P. And my MVP co host, Ms. Shannon Finch. This is episode 123 for the YouTube channel, and for the audio version, season 2, episode 25. For those who can't watch live, you can check out the audio versions. All the links are listed right below in the description. And right under that is myself, Dave, and Shannon's social media platforms. I got every platform that is. Shannon, I think just Facebook, Twitter, and IG, and Dave, I think just Facebook and IG. So give us a follow there. And like I said, some stuff you want us to talk about, hit us up in the DM, and we'll add it into our shows. We're gonna got a good show for y'all. Shannon got some good topics for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her get right to it.
All right, so we had our official first game last Thursday. So we're back with the good, bad, and ugly for each week. So Justin, give me your good, bad, and ugly for week one.
The good. So Isaiah Likely, of course, he stole the show. He did his thing. Um, Lamar as well. I'll say he put us on the shoulder at the end. We was just close from pulling off comeback win in Arrowhead. Um, Derrick Henry, even for the little bit of carries he got, he scored a touchdown. He got some good runs. And I'll say Trenton Simpson and Adafio Way. They were making plays. Adafio Way, we were showing how on Twitter he's beating that rookie tackle like he stole something. And Trenton Simpson.
Hmm.
So that's my good right there. Bad miss assignments on we had linebackers on receivers and stuff like that, and they would take advantage of that. The offensive line so you know, Lamar was running for his life back there. The ugly penalties. That's always going to be the ugly. There's always can set you back on both sides.
Hmm.
Turnover, that gave him 7 points or 3 points. So yeah, that's my good, bad, and ugly.
Okay, so my good is Lamar. Pretty much the same thing you said. Lamar likely and Derrick Henry. I have that as my good.
Mhm.
Bad offensive line, offensive play calling, decision making. Um, like that one point in the game where Bateman had made the big catch, and we could have ran up and spiked the ball and had more time on the clock. I didn't understand like why we didn't think to do that, but whatever. The defense at times I felt like they could have been better. They were okay, but they could have been better. Um, and my ugly was the refs and penalties because that stuff with the refs was crazy.
For sure.
All right, so moving on to position grades. What grades do you give the coaches?
Oh man, I get them a C. Could have been a lot better. We abandoned the run. Like I said, defensively, I've been giving Zach Orson grace, but he's pretty much
Excuse me.
lucky, man. He played
Thank you.
professional football. Linebackers should not be on receivers. They're gonna lose that battle 9 times out of 10.
Hmm.
Hardball game, not stepping in, and making the coordinators make changes. So I get him a C.
I gave them a C as well. Piss poor time management to me. There was no reason why we were going through our timeouts like that, and I feel like that's something that cost us in the end as well. Offensive play calling just wasn't always on point to me. I don't like you mentioned like not running the ball. I don't understand that at all. The defense they look confused at times, like what you just said. We're saying the same thing with that. But in the end, we still had a chance to win. So they did a lot of things that was like, but in the end, because of the playmakers, basically, we were put in a position to be able to win the game. And we came up short. But I give them a C. All right, what grade do you give Lamar?
Gotta be an A for sure. Could have been an A plus, if it wasn't for that turnover, but definitely A. Like I said, with all his performance, we probably get dog walk in Kansas City. So, he put us on his back. He said, "The hell with the hell, nah, I'm not gonna let it go like that. So if we're gonna lose, or it's gonna be me putting this on our shoulders." So he turned into Vic. He was completing passes, taking off. Like Steve McNolo didn't know what to do. So, I give him an A, like I said, because, outside of a few missed passes, which was kind of hard to make under the rest. But, so I give him an A. Like I said, it wasn't too much more he could have done.
All right. And I agree with everything you just said, but I'm giving him a B. For me, it's like this. Fair, unfair, you're a two-time MVP. It's going to be certain expectations that come with that. That happens around the league for anybody who's like winning things like that. I feel like in that game, it was like missed passes. I questioned some of Lamar's decision making. I felt like he was keying in too much on Zay Flowers when he could have been spreading the ball around, which we did later, and it was working out in our favor because you got more guys involved. And he needs to get on the same page with his guys. Like he said, the pass that everybody was mad about with Zay Flowers that was missed, it was intended for Bateman. How the heck does that even happen? Because the ball looked like it was going Zay Flowers' direction more than it was Bateman to me. So it's not the rag on Lamar, like I said. For me, the reason why it's a B is just because I feel like he could do better than what he did, but we don't come back in that game without Lamar as well. So I give him a B.
I mean, that's fair. That is, like I said, that critique is fair. That's why I call it critique, is because what it is. But like I said, by him being under duress, it's kind of like how he missed that pass with nobody pressuring. Then I'm like, oh yeah, but he had Chris Jones on barreling down his face, so he just had to get rid of it. And like I said, if Zay just would have sat down a little sooner, it's a completed touchdown. But that's a small thing that could get cleaned up.
Hmm. All right. So what grade do you give the running backs?
I'll give him a B plus. Like I said, Justice Hill was catching up the backfield pretty well. Derrick Henry ran hard when he did get the ball. The Justice Hill pass protection got to get better. I get it; he's not the biggest guy in the world, but still, you got to give us a little bit more than that. So for all things considered, B plus.
I gave him a C. I feel like so. Just talking about rushing yards alone, Derrick Henry had 49. Derrick Henry and Justice Hill had 49 combined, right? If we didn't have Lamar adding 114 and Zay having 14, it really would have been no type of rushing attack. Now, part of that we talked about with coaching, like why aren't you running the ball? But it wasn't anything that was like the I'm talking about the running backs. They didn't do anything, earth shattering to me. Like it wasn't. It was an okay day for them. Again, I can't say if it's. I don't. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming more of like lack of opportunity. Um, but the touchdown, we got a touchdown with it from a running back, so I give him a C.
Okay.
What line do you give the offensive? I'm sorry. What grade do you give the offensive line?
Jesus Christ. I give them a D. I'm being nice. I'm just gonna go F, but we did score some points, so we don't score some points while some blocking, but D. Because like I said, granted, Chris Jones is now that Aaron Donald retired the best interior D lineman, but it shouldn't be that easy. Fam. It shouldn't be that easy. So definitely a D.
Mhm. So we would have been on the same page because I gave him an F. I just feel like they got worked. And we could talk about the penalties and whose fault it was or wasn't, but they got worked. And I don't know if that line is gonna work out for the rest of the year. Like John Harbaugh might have some decisions to make, but yeah, they get an F. That was a bad showing. That's why it's tough. That's why it's tough to be hard on Lamar because I saw what the line was. You know what I mean? Like I saw it, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do up there. All right. So what grade do you give the tight ends and wide receivers?
A plus. They stole the show. I mean, 'cause especially with Likely's performance. Andrews didn't do a whole lot. I think he still was like gimpy from the accident. Bateman made some plays in the end. Zay, made a few plays. So, but likely a performance alone, gotta give him an A plus.
I give him a B. For everything you just said, the only reason why I wouldn't say it was an A is because going back to Lamar, I feel like he was force feeding Zay, and when you look at it, he only ended up with 37 yards. So it's like it wasn't as successful as it could have been if we would have been looking around the field. You got to consider Mark Andrews because he was out there, and he didn't contribute much of anything. But like you said, likely he had a hell of a day, great game. Almost won the game. Well, and even with that, we don't know if he was going to win because even he was going to have to score the two or get a field goal. So I hate to keep saying we was to win the game, but
It was a
to
great
put
job.
us in a position to win a game,
Yeah.
like we definitely came through. Bateman, I was very happy for him and the big play that he made. I still think we should have spiked the ball to have more time.
Mhm.
But I mean, they were okay. I'll give them a B. I can't complain too much.
Okay.
All right. So what grade do you give the defensive line?
I give them a B. They did hit him a couple times, hit him, sacked him a couple times for it, so a B.
I gave them a C. I don't like we talked about the defense and the issues they had early on, and that can go back to the coordinator. But I feel like they had a solid showing. They made some tackles, got pressure, but it wasn't anything that was like earth shattering for me. With the defensive line, so I gave them a C. And what grade do you give the linebackers?
I give them a C. They made some plays, but was getting lost in coverage and missing tackles on Pacheco. So I'll give them a C. I ain't know. That's the lowest grade I ever gave this. Cool, probably just like 2 years ago. So definitely a C.
Yeah, I gave him a C as well. They had an interception, had a sack, but it was too many times that the middle of the field was just too wide open. Um, it was making me sick. Like you kind of get spoiled when you have a linebacker like Ray Lewis because you just expect that type of intensity where people are literally scared to come across the middle or go up the middle. So when you see stuff like that, it's like, ugh. But yeah, I gave him a C.
To be fair, it's kind of hard to play that style that Ray played. I think teams fear Roquan. It just he can't really play like that because like it's obviously the penalties and it's a passing league. So Ray benefited in a great area like where you can still play football. Where you just might run a slant, you can take their head off. Now it's just they got to think about it. They got a linebacker got to sit there and think like how I'm gonna come down and make this tackle while getting a penalty. So you know, but you
Yeah, you still should be where you're supposed to be at, even if you can't hit like that.
for sure. For sure.
All right. So what grade do you give the DBs secondary?
Oh man, C minus, bro. Oh my god, where are they running butt naked? You could blame Marlon too, but all to me was the safety because it was cover two. But him as a veteran, if you see the safety not behind, look behind you first. If you see the safety's not there, it's no longer cover two. You got to man up. Even if you
Hmm.
run by, at least be there and at least be there to attempt. You know what I mean? Because we know he's faster than you, so at least don't just pass him off to nobody. So definitely a C minus. It was just Rasheed Rice was killing us. It was crazy.
Yeah, I gave him a C. I just feel like there was too many big plays made, too much miscommunication. Like the defense. That's why I said like they just looked lost at times, and that was a play where obviously Marlon thought one thing and it was something totally different. Um, but as a veteran, he should know better. You know what I mean? Like you said, like look back to make sure people are where they're supposed to be at. Yeah, I give him a C. I do wish that we would have played Nate Wiggins a little bit more, but that's coaching.
Yeah, and once again, like how you got this kid that run a 4.2, and they got a guy out there that run a 4.2 killing us. And you don't, I don't know. Like I said, John,
Right.
I definitely like him, but it's like, he just makes me scratch my head sometimes.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least, special teams. What grade do you give special teams?
uh, Unknown caller. Sorry about that. I thought I was just, I gotta give them a D. Missed field goals. We gave no good returns, and then giving them good field position, and I've never given them that low, but they gotta be a D.
Yeah, I had him as a C minus. I felt like it wasn't. It's for everything you just said. Like I really had that down. In my notes as to what I was going to say. Unfortunately for Tucker, the narrative is starting that people think he lost it. Um, I won't say that because we've seen kickers played for 20 plus years in this league. So I won't say he's done. But let's put him in a position where he don't got to kick field goals that far anymore. How about that?
Absolutely, like him, Stover was the same way. Like Father Time is undefeated. It's
Yeah.
just you can slow him down, but you cannot flatly just erase him. But so it's just
Everybody can't be LeBron James.
yeah. Like I said, this might be the year Father Time snatch. You never know. You never know. So you never know. Remember, it happened to Peyton Man, it happens to everybody. But like I said, I think Tuck's still be okay. Like you said, let's get him in the 30 to 40 range and then kick him 50.
Mm-hmm.
We got to
Yep.
score.
All right, so we got a couple of topics to discuss. First one, should we be concerned with Mark Andrews?
I'm gonna say no. One game, he was in a car accident. So before everybody start to trade Mark Andrews, um, trend and this and that and the third and all that, like relax. It's one game. He was in a car accident, so you can still see he ain't himself yet. So likely had the high hand. You go with the high hand. It just makes sense. Like Mark Andrews even said it. He said, "Nah, man, it was Isaiah's night. It's that simple." So like this one game, relax. That's what I tell everybody. One game doesn't make even we the won this game. I've been saying the same thing. It wouldn't have guaranteed us a spot in January. Even we the one. So like I said, it's one game. So everybody relax. No, not at all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not concerned either. I don't think we should be concerned right now. What I do think is going to happen or is happening is that it makes people wonder like what really happened with his car accident. Now he's okay. Obviously, we know that he nothing seriously bad happened, but he didn't practice again after that until like last week when they were getting ready for this game. That says a lot. To me, watching the game, I felt like he was barely even targeted, and when he was targeted, he didn't look like himself. So that could play into him not practicing for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't think we should be concerned. I think we should just give him time to figure it out and be happy that we have likely in the meantime.
And we always had two good tight ends. This is nothing new. Like always had two good tight ends. Shannon Sharp, he Wilcox. He Donald, it's so far, so forth. It's nothing new.
Hmm. All right, so moving on to the next topic. Were you disappointed with Derrick Henry's debut?
No, not at all. Like I say, scored a touchdown. He did the most he can do with limited carries and behind a new offensive line. So no, not at all. To me, like I said, to me, they did fairly well given the circumstances.
So for me, I was disappointed. Not that anything that he did wrong, just the fact that I would have thought that he would have been featured a little bit more than he was. I don't like the recipe of um, Lamar carrying the ball more than anybody else on the team. Like that's not going to work. It's the reason why he was banged up and didn't practice on Monday. Like that
Yeah,
doesn't even make sense.
yeah,
Then you have John Harbaugh saying, we didn't bring him in to let him run or carry the ball 30 times. Okay, maybe not 30 times, but you can do it more than 13 times.
yeah,
Like I feel like, and we've been doing this for a while. And somebody made this point earlier this week. On the radio, and I was like, "That's fair." And I'm a John, I support John Hall, but like I feel like we gotta say that because I'm not saying fire him, but what was said was us as Ravens fans are always complaining about the same things with the offense, regardless of who the coordinator is, except for one time when Gary Kubiak was the coordinator, and that wasn't a John Harbaugh hire. So they were posing a question like, should we stop being mad at the coordinators and more or less understand it as they're just following, um, you know, the logic of what John Harbaugh wants? And I said, you know what? That's a fair point because we do complain about a lot of the same things, regardless of who is at coordinator. I mean, you even had people talking about they don't see a difference in this offense and Greg Roman's offense because they felt like Monken was going to add more in the passing game. I don't know, but I just feel like I wanted more from Derrick Henry. And when you look around the league and you see how some of the other backs had like big games, I thought when he scored a touchdown, I was like, okay, we going to stick to it. But we didn't. And if you allow him to continue to run it, even if he's not breaking off big yards, at least you keep the defense honest.
yeah.
When you just completely get away from it, your only running threat at that point is Lamar Jackson. And then trying to get it downfield to whoever can get open or whoever he can get it to. Like it doesn't make sense. So my disappointment is not me being mad at him. It's just I didn't like his usage, and I felt like he could have been utilized a whole lot better. Doesn't gotta be. It doesn't have to be 30 carries. but should give
Well,
us at least 20, 20 something like more than 13.
he should at least have had 22 to think about that. Harbaugh kind of let he let the people get to him when he answered that. That's not normally that John Harbaugh answer. He let you could tell he that was frustration. He just got tired of people saying. Normally he would say something like, "Hey, it's just that's our job. We got to do a better job getting the ball. We'll do that going forward. We'll at least make sure he gets at least the same amount of carries as his jersey number 22." Harbaugh was frustrated, so he in the show because that nobody said that no running back should be touching the ball 30 times again. That's too much. But, yeah, like I don't know, like John Harbaugh, like I said, Super Bowl winning coach. Like I said, we didn't seen other teams move on from Super Bowl winning coaches, so it was like, are we going to just hold on to the glory years, or we're going to worry about now? Like I said, I ain't saying he should go now, but if the same thing, like you said, we keep it recurring,
Hmm.
we just like I said, that's why Tom Coughlin was like, oh, he won 2 Super Bowls within 4 years. They say, you know what, the hell with that. We weren't about you ain't cutting the mustard now. Like we appreciate
Hmm.
it. You always been, I have a special place in our heart, but what you done for me lately type stuff. So, you know,
Yeah. So let me make sure this because I saw this question on Twitter. It said John Harbaugh, this is his 17th year right now. And the question was, do you think he will make it to 20 years as a coach for the Ravens?
I want to say no, but then again, Bashad, wants to have that Steeler. He want to mimic the Steelers so bad. But I want to say no because for one, he's getting older, and two, like it's just I don't know. The game is changing, so. But I'm
I didn't even know that I didn't realize that he was 61. When I
yeah.
was watching the game and they said, I was like, he's 61.
Like same age as my mother.
Like time be flying. Like he just seemed like he was a young man when he came.
Yeah, he's
But
like 45 or something like that.
my
40.
response to that is I think it depends. Because let's say the Ravens win a Super Bowl this year or next year. Could I see Harbaugh making it the year 20? Yeah.
If that
You know what I
happens.
mean? So that's why I'm like, it depends, you know. Harbaugh always seems to, keep his job when it looked like he about to be up out of here. But I don't know. Steve Bisciotti likes him, so it'll be tough. It'll probably be more of a mutual agreement than anything like how they were saying in 2018.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think he would just
I,
flat out
I,
fire him.
they got too much respect just to flat out just so
Yeah.
they'll dress it up nicely, but we all know it. Like how they did, like Seattle did with Pete Carroll, basically.
Yeah. Well, get it together, John, because yeah, we don't have to talk about you all season.
Got that locker room. I ain't gonna hold you. A part of me, like, man, we should have went and ripped the band-aid off and promoted him and just offered John like an assistant GM job or something. Kept him in the old something. Because it was like Mike McDonald got them guys playing hard. I'm like, we really let this guy walk over the door, man. Dang.
Yeah, I mean, look, the time gonna come one way or another. So, all right. So the last topic we have, Kyle Van Noy, and I haven't heard anything since the game actually. He hurt his eye, got some sort of eye injury, and they
Yes.
don't even really have a timeline for when he's going to come back yet. So we don't know when he's going to come back. So my question for you is, how do we fill the void of Kyle Van Noy?
All right. First, it got to be in-house. Because, like I said, I don't know how the cap is looking. I'm sure it's not a lot. Because if it is some cap left, we're going to probably, if anything, we'll probably go towards the offensive line first. Because that's the bigger, because Lamar get hurt and cancel Christmas. So we would have to go in house first. It would have to be the job on and always look good. Like if them two stay healthy and play, and Latavius Robinson and Adisa Isaac is going to have to be within and then Malik Harrison too because he plays up there as well. So it had to be in house first with those guys. To step up, they would have to step up. It's just no other choice, unless we can get somebody out there for fairly team friendly deal.
Hmm.
As of right now, it had to be the guys that's already on the roster.
Yeah, I agree. I actually said that as well. That it starts in house. And as you know, a couple like as the season go on, we'll see by week 5 and week 6 what it really looked like. I don't think that Eric DeCosta would just let us be, to like we saw the moves he made last year. So I think he'll definitely go get help if we see that we need it. I was going to say if we have to go that route of bringing in somebody off the street, bring back Yannick, bring him back. I don't think it would hurt to bring him back. And if the Falcons season don't go as they hope, then go trade for Judon and bring him back. Um, but I do think that it starts in house first. Like we can see what we have with them, and like I said, by week 5, 6, 7, if it's not looking good, we know some moves are gonna be made.
Yeah, like I said, 'cause you drafted those guys, give them a shot to play. And you still got Joe Evans on the practice squad and other guys. So, like I said, they'll go that route for you. Like I said, 'cause I don't know how the cap is looking. Shannon, if you don't mind, can you look up the cap for us? Because you be finding this stuff like you got good insight. Not saying that I don't, but you be knowing you be knowing the right places to go to find that type of information.
With the cap space.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that way we'll get a better sense of how they approach. But yeah, like I said, in house.
This well, this was from August. Oh, here, wait a minute. We have about 18 million available in cap space.
Right now,
No, this is no, that says February. It says a bunch of different ones. One is in August. I would have to keep looking to try to find what it is right now because it's showing different ones.
we fine. Just post it in our group chat. That's all. Yeah. But yeah, I want to say it's probably less than 5 million. I'm not going on them because
Oh, it is. Yep, it is. It's 4 million.
I figured that because I remember last time Brian McFarland he'd be on top of that and he showed it. So like I said, we might can bring in somebody a low tier guy that's a semi no name. Like we could probably try to get Chandler Jones maybe. Like I said, I know whatever he had going on with the Raiders, but remember Kyle was the same way. He had issues in Browns and all that film, and we
Didn't
kind
he go?
of
Didn't he go crazy? Didn't Chandler have a little mental issue or something?
I mean, I seriously, I think he just didn't want to be in Vegas no more. So they say
Mm,
that
You you be
player.
wanting to bring drama here.
Not really. I just want to bring a person. Like, I don't want to like. I'm gonna say. I say it all the time. Jimmy Johnson said it. He said, "I'd rather take a bunch of thieves that can play than a bunch of fire boys that suck." He said it.
Well,
He said it.
I,
And I and
I
I and I understand the madness to it. Like,
I just think it depends on what you're doing, like what your issue is.
yeah, long ain't killing nobody, harming no kid, women, or kids, like or nothing like
Cause like
that.
I think when you have bad behavior in a locker room, that's almost as worse. And I'm just talking about character trait wise. That's almost as worse as you having an off the field issue because whatever you're doing off the field, it doesn't necessarily impact the team directly. But if you're in house and you having tantrums or just being like, that's what I really don't want. With Chandler, I really thought something. I thought I'm not joking. I really thought he had like a mental episode. Like I thought something. Maybe it was somebody else. So he had like a went to the store. I don't know something crazy.
It's not. It could have been that, but I just think that or Randy Gregory or somebody like that. Somebody played them. Both of them played in big games too. So somebody along those
Hmm
veteran ages that done played in big games. Like if they're not cutting them off in house, grab one of them. So that's about it.
Yeah,
Great show as usual, Shannon. Great topics. We'll be back Thursday to do our previews and stuff like that. Position matchups, all that stuff like that over on the line, and whatever Dave wanna throw in there. So yeah, we gotta get back. We gotta get our first one of the season. We on one. Got the on one. We can't afford to take them lightly because we're on one ourselves. So we gotta go out there and take care of business. Anything you want to say, Shannon? If we wrap it up.
I do. Lamar, I want you to just take care of yourself. Like I know that, or from what I thought, you lost weight to be able to get back to your form of wanting. Because I'm assuming you want to run, you wanted to run, or you wanted to be quicker when you ran. But then we hear that you didn't practice on Monday, and it just immediately makes the fan base just wonder like what happened. I only heard about what happened from Adam Schefter saying it on somebody's show he was on talking about it because John Harbaugh wouldn't say when he was asked why Lamar didn't practice and was just like, "Oh, the injury report will be out on Wednesday." So I was like, "Did he have a personal issue or was it an injury?" I just want Lamar to take care of himself. It's week one. Hearing that you already needed to sit out of practice because you was banged up from Thursday, it's not comforting. We need you to make it through the season. We trying to make this Super Bowl run. So yeah, take care of yourself.
Nothing really. I'm this we see y'all Thursday. Always get it together. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade talk Ravens all day, every day. From your host Justin P and my MVP co-host Shannon Finch. Love y'all guys. See y'all Thursday. We're gonna go 7:15. Give us a little time in case I got to do something. I might gotta go to the grocery market or something like that. Love y'all guys, and we out.
See you, Justin.